Today's episode of the Chasing Daylight podcast is sponsored by Chasing Aces Golf. Golf comes with pressures and expectations, and that includes what you wear. Chasing Aces hats, performance polos, and t-shirts keep you looking sharp from the clubhouse to the tee box. Visit ChasingAcesGolf.com. You can find them on Instagram as well at Chasing Aces Golf. Even the best are chasing aces. Welcome to the show, everybody. We've got some special guests for this kind of an interview episode. We have Lauren McDougall, who is the marketing director, and Keith Langlands, who is the founder / CEO of Chip Shots. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Hey, Matt. We're doing awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us. Chip Shots is a new and exciting venture that is coming to the Las Vegas area, and we're Vegas based, so anytime we can have anything golf related on the show in a Vegas setting, we're going to try and make it happen. So I really appreciate you guys taking some time out of your schedule to hop on and chat a little bit about Chip Shots and what's coming to the Vegas area.
Thanks for having us on. I really appreciate it.
No problem. So Keith, I want to start with you. This is something vastly different from your career. Is from what I know just from Adam, one of our mutual friends. You were in the financial sector of business, right?
Yeah, and actually that's when I met Adam. I was a partner in a CPA firm. Well, I'm still a CPA, obviously, but Adam is a CPA as well, and he worked for me when I was a partner with a firm downtown. And a great guy, by the way, and I'm so thankful for him introducing me to you. And at that time, I was a member of the Las Vegas Country Club, and old club. And
I love LVCC.
Anybody that's seen the movie Casino is familiar with that movie. And it's been featured in a lot of different movies over the years, and just really had been in love with golf over the years. And then moved to Seven Hills, and that kind of moved me away from the game of golf. And so that's really how I got started playing, and used to play about two or three times a week.
Okay, so real quick, Las Vegas Country Club is one of my favorite courses in town. It's historic, it's iconic. It's one of the few courses in Vegas you can actually take a stroll on and enjoy a walk when it's not 115 degrees.
Right. Exactly.
What's your favorite hole out there?
It's been so long since I played out there, and actually, when I left there, that was kind of the rebuild on this whole project. I actually left my clubs behind, so that's how far and absent I got away from the game, and that's what makes this whole project kind of funny when I look back on how I came up with the idea.
Have you been back there since they've done all the remodeling?
No, I've been there. I've been back there I have not. I went back there a couple of times, for weddings and lunches and dinners and things like that for business. But no,
were your clubs still there, Keith?
I don't know. They probably, I sold my interest way back in the day, so they probably cleaned my locker and said, "Well, this guy's not coming back." So back then, I didn't have that great of a set of clubs, and in fact, a good old friend of mine who just recently passed away, a gentleman by the name of Jack Weinstein, actually gave me a membership way back in the day. Jack owned Jack and his family. They still do, as far as I know. They owned Tower of Jewels over on East Sahara, and just a wonderful human being. And he pretty much had his own designated position there in the Horseshoe Bar there at Las Vegas Country Club.
That's big status.
Yeah, I was Jack's accountant for going on 15 years. So wonderful person.
Oh, you got some stories.
Yeah,
you've got some stories. Okay, so how do you go from CPA playing golf a couple times a week to starting a completely new adventure with Chip Shots?
Well, interesting enough, I ended up starting an insurance company, and then I wanted to get back into golf, and somebody mentioned we'll give them a little plug here. I ended up going to Golf Tech, And to show you how far I got away from the game, there's one right near our office is over on Durango and Sunset. And somebody mentioned, well, just go in there. They'll give you a free lesson. And I went in there and well, they got all the sticks in there and the iron heads and the clubs and everything. And I walked in there, and a gentleman by the name of John Passmore got me in there. And he goes, well, who's your favorite golfer? And I go, of course, Roy McIlroy. And he goes, well, they put him up on one side and they put me up on the other. You do a few swings and make a couple changes, and they put you up as a stick figure. And all of a sudden I was hitting my 5-iron about 20, 30 yards better than what I was doing before. And I'm like, gosh, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then the only negative was all of a sudden I walked out of there, all of a sudden my Amex card had a $6,000 charge on it. That part wasn't so great. But
got him.
And then a couple months later, I was like, then I had a new set of clubs and a new bag, and it's like, well, this is kind of expensive, but it was definitely worthwhile. And I think that night I went to my favorite watering hole, and I don't want to give them a plug, but put a couple bucks in the slot machine. I think everybody does that. I've been in Vegas for 40 years now, and here I was watching. It was about this time last year, and watching the Dodger game. I'm from LA originally, and I'm thinking, man, watch some sports, play some slots, have some great food, some drink. And of course there was somebody in there that might had a little too much to drink. And then I was thinking private club. And that's when it came to me. And I started looking around at places around the country. And I don't mean this to be degrading at all, but they were mostly what we come to refer to as pizza and wings places. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has their segment in the marketplace. And I just thought, well, man, is there any place that, brings that golf course classy atmosphere with, cigar bar, good drinks and good food and a private atmosphere where you can do business, and how can we do that country club? But it's Vegas. Again, I've been here 40 years, and it gets hot. And I don't know about anybody else, but it seems like it gets windier every year.
Every year, and, it's insane.
It gets dark. And we don't want to be an enemy of all the golf courses here in town. And thank goodness we've had just a wonderful outreach from just everybody, no exception. And when they're overseeding or they have a tournament in town or whatever, they want to come do fittings, whatever, they're overflowed. The game of golf has had such a comeback since the pandemic.
Been insane.
They're just overwhelmed,
It's been
and
insane.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Matt. I just get you start talking about this chip shots project, and Lauren gets so tired of this, but I go over the top. But it's just so exciting, and that's you asked the question, and I just ran with it. It's just so exciting.
Okay, so Lauren, I'm going to have you give your marketing 2-minute spiel. Tell us what Chip Shots is.
We're Nish and Chris, two very amateur golfers on a quest to play the top 100 courses in the UK and Ireland, after Chris set this challenge on a drunken Saturday night in my kitchen. Join us on our frequently humorous journey of a lifetime as we grapple with the logistical and financial challenge of playing some of the best courses in the world, as well as grappling with our games, because let's face it, it's never just about playing. Sometimes the score matters too. Listen to the Top 110 Golf Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
A lot of different industries. This is my first stint in golf, but I love a good challenge. So when I first met with Keith, I thought the concept was incredible and there was nothing like it. So I, of course, wanted to jump right in and bring it to life, because Keith's vision is just incredible, and I really wanted to be a part of it. So I think Chip Shots, what makes it unique is, as Keith was kind of mentioning, golf courses all around the country really, but here in Vegas, it gets so hot, there's reseeding, there's light, it gets darker, different times of the year. Some people don't have the time to do 4 or 5 hours out on the course. They have to get back to work, or, they have other commitments. So what we think is really unique is that we can tackle all of those, challenges within the golf community, and have people come in for an hour or two to play around at their favorite course. We'll have over 80 different courses to play from, Pebble Beach to hopefully like TPC Summerlin, some of the hot courses around the city. So we're really excited. We think it's going to be a big hit. It's been so well received so far with, everyone that we've talked to within the community, and even outside of the community, honestly, people that, want something fun to do with their clients or have a corporate membership. So we think that it's going to be wildly successful here. And we're even already looking at a couple different locations for secondary Chip Shots facilities. So we're looking at Scottsdale, and then Keith has been down to Texas, kind of to the Frisco area. So kind of
hotbed right
near
now.
where the PGA, yeah, absolutely, where PGA is setting up their new headquarters. So we think there's so much potential here, and we are very, very excited to get it up and off the ground.
So Keith, did you guys, because a lot of businesses that start off in Vegas, they like to go after the tourists, and it's not a bad thing to do because there's so many that come here. But when that happens, the locals kind of get left out and hung to dry. Did you guys specifically want to stay away from the Strip and the tourists and make this more of a local club for the guys, or is there a little bit of reach for the tourists?
I think when we look at it, I think, and that's a great question. I think that I think probably 95% is going to be locals. I think we're making a bit of an accommodation for convention, and that's about it. And it's really going to have to be cleared, where people are going to have to be screened by the hotels, and we're talking to just a very few golf outing that are creating tours that are specifically high end people, but it's going to be heavily dominated, if not fully, to locals, because it's going to be a private club, and we don't want anybody just coming in and quite, for lack of a better way to put it, we don't want anybody, tourists coming in and tearing up the joint. If it's going to be high end people like those that would come to the Wynn or Venetian or Caesars or somewhere like that, that are going to be respectful of our code of ethics. And it's not 3 strikes and you're out. It's 1 strike and you're out.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, and I think what to speak to what Keith is saying, like, one of our core values is business, and help fostering that side of the business, right, is networking and meeting with other like-minded people, and that's going to go outside of just the local demographic, right? If someone is in town from LA or Seattle for a trade show, maybe they want to come in and host an event when they're in town for their trade show. So I think there's different ways that we can, as Keith mentioned, like screen or refer guests outside of the membership, but we of course want our members to be satisfied and happy with anyone that comes into the club.
Nice. All right, so let's talk about what's going to be inside this facility, because that's going to be the draw, is what you guys are going to be offering as a private club. So give a little rundown of what people can expect if they get inside and see what Chip Shots is about.
Well, right now we're going through final permits on our position, but our general layout is going to be 2 stories, approximately 13,000 square feet. And down on the bottom floor, if you can kind of envision, as somebody walks in, we're going to have a full-service restaurant to the left, an outdoor, kind of that garage-style bar, indoor-outdoor bar. with a patio outside. And then if you were from the front entrance, if you're going to gear to your right, that's where our main simulators are going to go. There's about 6 simulators off to the right. Before that, you'll hit the stairs and a glass elevator that'll take you up to the second story, and up there we'll have 2 large conference rooms with 2 large adjacent with conference rooms with adjacent simulators, large simulators on both sides. Now, all these simulators are also all high-tech televisions as well that can be used for business presentations and also for video screens. So when they're not in use as simulators, we're going to be hosting Golden Knights games, Sunday Night Football, and of course PGA events. Obviously, with the Open coming up this weekend, we'll be holding great events. We'll have an event coordinator to coordinate all these, when Masters and PGA Championship, et cetera. All those events will be special promotional items. If you continue, when you're upstairs, we'll have a virtual putting green, and we've got some great announcements coming up on that. But we'll also have, as you head down that way, in addition to the conference rooms and that, we'll have an indoor-outdoor bar upstairs. The second floor has, with the location at 215 and West Flamingo, we have a beautiful view of the Strip at night, and the location runs west to east, so no sun issues, and it'll have a beautiful view of the Strip. And then also we'll have a cigar lounge on the bottom floor and a cigar bar upstairs. And the location is non-smoking, but of course with 2 patios, there'll be designated smoking areas.
Nice.
So that's the primary layout, and if you can imagine how that is going to look. And again, private club, and but it will allow for members to bring guests, and we're still working out. We have an advisory board that we've got our folks locked into that will meet monthly and come up with ideas on different aspects of what we're doing for clubs and club members.
So who do you think is your clientele? Not who do you think? Tell me who is your clientele?
Well, I think what we're really trying to do is trying to get away from the and if I can be rather graphic, I'm an old fat white guy. Be an old fat white guy. We're trying to get away from the old fat white guy mentality of the cigar smoking 50, 60, 70-year-old that atmosphere of a golf clubhouse. We're trying, and I subscribe to one of the resort clubhouse magazine, and I get a daily update on that every day. And I'm sure you see it as well by being in the industry, is that all you see is constant renovations of golf clubhouses, 30, 40, 50, $60 million by clubhouses putting pickleball in, gyms, pools, saunas, et cetera, trying to appeal to 20, 30, 40-year-old individuals, appealing to women. So what we're trying to do is approach. We're not. I don't want to say we're trying to appeal to all things to everybody, but we're trying to do our best to cover a much greater demographic in what we're doing, and certainly with that of a business atmosphere. So that hopefully that helps, and I'm sure Lauren would have a much better definition.
Yeah,
I think I just rambled on.
No, that was great, Keith. But I think also, as Keith is saying, we're kind of trying to be more of a modern country club and appeal to, millennials, all age ranges really. But I think that's there's kind of a gap in the marketplace for it right now. We'll have like the technology, we'll be indoors, we'll have like more of a fun, youthful atmosphere. I know that we've been bouncing around a lot of different ideas. Of course, we're going to have, league play and tournaments and things of that nature, but we want to be a little more unique, instead of just, paint and sip night. We want to bring in maybe a crypto speaker, or I know Keith, one of the bartenders that we're planning on employing does like knitting, right? So just kind of just some unique different things that I think would appeal to a different crowd that wants something that's not, the typical country club lifestyle. That will have some of that feel, but be a little bit more unique in what we offer.
So when did you know that you were onto something with this? Because a lot of businesses, they come from strange ideas and then just blossom into something. But at one point, somebody goes, "This is it." What was it for you?
Well, again, Matt, that's a great question, and pretty much right away, because I've been very fortunate both in the CPA, especially in the CPA business, and while I don't do any quote unquote CPAing anymore, through my insurance business, I've had a great deal of somebody upstairs has been looking out for me, and I've had some great clients and some great friends and business friends throughout the years. And I started asking them about, well, what do you think about this idea? And they're like, this is one of the greatest ideas I've ever heard. And so it's pretty much from day one. I maybe I've had one or two, well, I'm not sure about it, but for the most part, it's been 99% of people saying, this is a go. And I tend to travel a lot through my insurance business. I do a lot of public speaking, and they're like, "No, we don't want to hear about that. We want to hear about chip shots." I can watch one of your videos on YouTube. Tell me about chip shots. What's new? What's going on with that? When's it going to open? It's been a hit from day one. We just want to get the darn thing up and going.
So what is the schedule for you guys? What's the next? What's it looking like?
Yeah, we're trying to get through, and there's nothing. It's just everybody's building. Vegas is growing like crazy, and we're hoping to get everything turned in dirt by October. And then we're looking for the first quarter, end of first quarter, April, somewhere around there of next year. But we've got a great contractor, great architects, so they're doing everything we can to get it open. We're not in any supply chain; everything's here domestic. So
good.
We're doing everything we can to get it, and everybody's eager to get it going.
So is this your calm before the storm time frame right now?
Yes, yeah. I will answer that one, Matt. Yes, absolutely.
Most definitely. But it gives us a chance to talk to great people like you.
Well, thank you very much. So what's the next big step for Chip Shots? You said you're breaking ground?
Yeah, Lauren, I think that's probably the next thing. Again, I hopefully late September and October, early October. I think that'll be our next big public relations blowout. And but a lot of great stuff is happening right now, and we're just so excited about it.
Yeah, and Matt, we also we had so much fun at the Diabolical Chip Shots Open. We will be. Okay, I won't jump the gun, but we will be in a couple more tournaments in August as well. One is the T-Birds Classic on August 12th, and then the other one is the UNLV Rebel Hockey Tournament on August 26th. So
nice.
If you or any of your listeners will be there, please come say hello. I will have a booth and be passing out some fun promo items and just chatting all things Chip Shots.
Yeah, we loved your guys' support for the Vegas Golf Network. That was amazing. The guys that played in that tournament were really interested in finding out more about it. The tumblers you guys passed out were awesome. I was using mine yesterday. So
awesome.
It was nice to see that you guys are willing to get yourselves out there and be a participant and get your name out in the community, because it's going to take that, and a lot of people don't realize how much work goes on behind the scenes in getting your name out there and getting some brand recognition, and you guys have been on it.
Super.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, Keith, I know you recently had some surgery. It's kind of preventing you from being out on the golf course, but are you looking forward to getting back out on the courses?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, I think I've got another couple months, but start physical therapy next week, and then yeah, I can't wait. My clubs have been sitting in the corner for since this all started at the beginning of the year, and first 5 months of this year were just a write off. So been hitting the ground running. Well, not exactly hitting the ground running. I've been sitting on, but yeah, I can't wait to get back out and use what Golf Tech taught me, and might need a refresher or two. But I've already got some lessons.
Do you have a favorite course in town? I know you said you're out in the Seven Hills area, and Rio Seco is my number one in town. So
well, yeah, I live on the Strip now, but over on I live in the one Las Vegas.
oh, nice.
But I love Red Rock. Red Rock Country Club is just a fantastic. I know one of the members over there. So, but just out in the Seven Hills area is fantastic. But there's so many great courses in town. It's
so many.
But now we're at Paiute, and the course looks beautiful.
Paiute is amazing.
Yeah,
that's so pretty
amazing.
up there.
Oh.
Yeah. It looked wonderful. So I wish I could have got out there.
Lauren, what about you? How much golf are you playing?
Now I am very much so considering myself to be a golfer, but
nice.
as far as the skill set, it's not quite there. But I did just book a lesson over at the Las Vegas Country Club with I believe his name is Gaylord. So I'm pretty excited. Shout out to Gaylord. I'm pretty excited to meet with him in the next couple of weeks and really get my swing down, because I think there's gonna be a lot of golf in my future. So I'm ready to be a good golfer.
How many people are you guys looking to employ at Chip Shots?
Well, we've started putting a bit of a flow chart together, organizational chart. So we'll have, on the golf side, we'll have, a director of instruction, we'll have some caddies, we'll have food servers and runners, we'll have bartenders, we'll have, kitchen staff, and a GM. And then we'll also have the corporate staff, but they probably won't work out of the Chip Shots facility. So it's hard to pinpoint exactly how many, just because we're still sorting through what the hours will be. So we'll have different shifts, but I would say, what do you think, Keith? Somewhere between 30 to 50 employees on site.
Yeah. And we're, depending on the hours, we're going through systems analysis to determine when the flow is. We're also working with the UNLV PGA management program.
Great connection there.
Working with interns and their alumni system. So as a UNLV grad, it was just a natural fit for us. And
I'm so glad you didn't say Reno grad. So glad. I give Adam so much shit for that. It's hilarious.
Well, my older son, he's 30 now, but he's a UNR grad. Yeah, he went up there and never came back. But he's a great kid, though. Great school up there.
Oh yeah, I know. I give him crap. I'm born and raised in Vegas, and so yeah, that school up north is yeah.
It's a good time.
Go Rebels.
Yes, go Rebels.
Anytime they're playing against UNLV, it's always a good time.
Yeah. So is there any thoughts of being 24 hours?
We're still kicking it around. I think Lauren mentioned we have we're going to have gaming, but right now we're only going for a 7 machine license. But I think it all depends on what the clientele tells us. I mean, stating the obvious, but Vegas is a 24-hour town, and if we start people seeing that people are getting off on swing shift and coming over there at midnight, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and they want to play at 4 o'clock in the morning, we're gonna make it happen. It's all about whatever the members want. We're gonna deliver. So yeah,
that's good to hear.
Yeah,
yeah. How cool would it be to play a round of golf at 3:30 in the morning, right, with a few drinks?
You get off at 4 o'clock, and you want to. Hey, you know what? I don't want to go home yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what the location out in the Summerlin area? Was that where you wanted to be from the begin with, or did it just happen to be you came across that property and it was a smoking deal?
It just happened that way. It really just happened. I could lie to you and tell you it's like, oh yeah, it's a perfect property we found. But the size of it's a little under 1.2 acres of raw land, and it just worked. It's right in for those of for a reference point, it literally is right off the 215, and for folks driving by, it's right in the complex where the LVAC is, so it's an easy reference point on there. And it's a high traffic area. They have a Chick-fil-A that's across the street. There's a Starbucks in the center, so good demographics in there. To get where the people are going to come in from, it's right at Grand Canyon and West Flamingo. So, so obviously with LVAC being 24 hours, your question on 24 hours is very applicable. So we're very open to that question.
Are you planning on having like a pro shop in there? Because that's when people go to country clubs, and you need balls, you need shirts, you need tees, you need clubs, whatever. Are you planning on having like a full service pro shop?
That's that's a great question, and this whole thing's been a learning experience, and that's part of the golf advisory committee that I think we're meeting later this month, our first meeting, and we're going to do that every month. And and I've been learning a lot on that side about which brands, et cetera, to carry, et cetera. And I think initially we were, again, just recalling my initial intro of picturing the entrance. Originally, we were just going to have a little gift shop there, but I think we're definitely looking at doing so. The answer to your question, yes. Yeah, definitely, because I think it's something that we're gonna need as the members dictate. And part of what our advisory board is doing, and Lauren's definitely working on this, is that we've already getting many inquiries on our website, or a landing page. The website's being developed, but expanding that to do questionnaires as we develop the menu, the food and drink menu, as to, well, what do you think about this idea? How expansive do we want that club, the shop to be, et cetera? All kinds of different aspects. Again, trying to do our best to tailor the member experience to be as close as we can, so that we don't have to tinker with it once we open.
Nice, love it.
Yeah, so we'll definitely have some branded apparel, and then just coming out of the PGA Summit, we saw a lot of really cool clothing brands there that aren't your Callaways and TaylorMades of the world, but a little bit smaller and more like boutique style that were pretty unique. But I think we're also bouncing around the idea of doing club fittings as well. So that's, TBD on that. We'd love to have that as an offering for our members as well.
Yeah, full service, man. That's one way to it's that will be very appealing to people.
Yeah, and here I am wearing a Tiger Woods Nike polo.
But he's teeing it up this week, so.
Oh, he is, yeah, and it's like but like Lauren said, we're trying to. We were very interested in a couple of the smaller smaller clothing, because there's some really interesting designs, and I know we're probably stealing it from Tiger Woods, but more going with that lack of collar, that straight look that he wears, and I've got a couple of those shirts, but probably a little too old to be wearing that shit. Excuse me, stuff. But we're on the radio.
All adults here. It's fine.
Okay. But just something different to say, man, this is not my grandfather's golf club anymore.
Yeah, one of the things that I've been fortunate enough with doing the Breakfast Ball blog for so long, and meeting and finding out about new smaller clothing brands and just brands in general. There's so many good ones out there that people aren't aware of.
Right.
There are.
And that's one of the things that I've focused on with the blog, is trying to bring awareness to brands that people may not. And let me tell you, there are some out there that are just utter trash, not going to lie, that they they press on a stupid logo on a China-made shirt and try to pass it off as a good product.
Right.
But there are so many that are absolutely amazing, and the stories behind those people's brands is what makes the brand so compelling. And I love sharing that.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're looking for. So I'm sure Lauren will be in touch with you. So cool. Very cool.
All right. So Lauren, why don't you let people know how they can find out more information about Chip Shots?
Yeah, so most definitely, please follow us on social media. We are at Chip Shots Club, one big word. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and we have a TikTok. We haven't put any content out there, but that is coming soon.
It's so addictive.
But
gosh,
it really is. It's where everything's headed. So we will be on there eventually. But for now, Instagram definitely is where we are kind of connecting with the community the most. And then obviously, if you would love to learn more information, you can visit our website at chipshots.club. And any inquiries come to me and Keith, so we will respond accordingly. But we'd love to connect with anyone that's interested or wants to learn more information.
Awesome. I can't wait for this place. It's, there are new spots open up in town all the time. We've been going to Five Iron a lot with the podcast and the Vegas Golf Network, and we love what they're doing. It's more tourist centric,
Sure.
where its location is and what they're doing. So when Adam was telling me about what you guys have planned, I was like, finally. And honestly, one of the members of the VGN, his name's Rich. He's a retired police officer. Him and I have sat down multiple times and talked about doing something exactly like what you guys are doing. It's not easy to do. It requires a lot of hard work, time, and dedication, and that's why we never did it. So hats off.
You're right.
Hats off to you, because I mean we started exploring it and got scared shitless immediately with like, wow, this is more than just, hey, let's put some simulators in a building.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it, and based on what I've read and seen and heard from what you guys are doing, it's going to be an amazing place here in town.
Well, I appreciate that very much, and it's been a lot of labor of love, as they call it, but it's definitely going to be worth it. And I thank you very much for that.
Well, no problem. Thank you guys for coming on today. I'm going to have in the show notes, I'll have links to the website and your guys' emails, so people want to get in touch. I thank you so much for coming on, and we are definitely looking forward to Chip Shots in 2023.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Matt. We'll host you for your next episode when we're open.
Oh, hell yes. Thanks, guys.
Have a great day. All right. Bye.